Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Keith Thurman has an elbow injury, but he throws out the first pitch in his hometown of Florida. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I just want to make this video. I want to talk about Keith Thurman's career, a couple of different things. Now, earlier today, he posted a picture. Caption reads, "Fun times throwing out the first pitch today in my hometown of Clearwater, Florida, as the Phillies played the Rays baseball. Hashtag one time, hashtag spring training." So he's supposed to fight, I believe, in May on the same night as Badu Jack taking on champion Adonis Stevenson. He hasn't named his opponent. The guy that was linked to possibly face Keith Thurman in a comeback / tune-up coming off a layoff and injury, Jesse Vargas, is fighting Adrian Broner, right? And that's a substitute to Broner versus Omar Figueroa, who had to pull out with injury. Now, the thing that I was thinking about when it comes to this is Keith Thurman, he's in his hometown and he's pitching a ball. Like, I'm not saying he's Roger Clemens or anything, but that's the same arm that he has this shoulder injury, or excuse me, elbow injury, I'm sorry. And his right elbow, he had bone spurts or something like that. Last year, he got it fixed, or what we think is fixed. And since that point, he's like talking about being delicate with it, slowly gauging how it feels and how it works. He says he fought the Denny Garcia fight with it. He's like, man, one more fight and then I'm gonna get this looked at and get the surgery for it, right? So my thing is, like, since this has happened, I mean, I don't know, he got married. Then he was in Nepal and he was street fighting. A video surfaced of him just, like, I guess, playing around with the locals, street fighting. Now he's throwing out the first pitch with the same arm that he's trying to take it easy with. You know what I mean? And to me, it just seems like that's probably not what you would want to do, since you're so heavily using the elbow as to why you're not going to fight Errol Spence Jr. next. You get what I'm saying? It's just like when I worked at Lowe's, there would be people on workers' comp and like, oh, I slipped a disc, I have a back injury. Then you really couldn't be caught or seen even outside of work, because, you know what I mean, sometimes if workers' comp suspect something is up, they can have like a private investigator or somebody. Oh, I seen him at an amusement park and he was at the batting cages or something. You know what I mean? And they were like, hey, this is not consistent. I thought you couldn't lift. I thought you couldn't turn, and I thought you couldn't swing. So, like, when people go on workers' comp, you're on light duty. You're being paid for kind of completing a light duty job that you're not supposed to be doing. I'm using the Lowe's as an example, of course. And you couldn't really be seen doing things that would go against what the doctor, what workers' comp says you can do. If that makes any sense to you guys. So if you had a hurt back and they said, hey, right now, since you're recovering, don't lift over 10 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever it is, then you can't be changing tires and you know what I mean, getting a jack at your house and be in the front yard or your garage working underneath your car and doing a bunch of lifting, you know what I mean, because that wouldn't go against. So just, to me, it seems a little bit weird. I don't doubt that Keith Thurman had the surgery on his right shoulder, but I just wanted to bring up the topic and see what you guys think, because he's made it abundantly clear the Errol Spence fight is not happening this year. He says 2018, baby, not gonna happen. You're not gonna see it. And in the interviews, he said stuff like, hey, I'm working my way back in the division. I've been on a long layoff, coming off of surgery. Fine. But it's kind of weird, and it makes me wonder if Keith Thurman has the same fire that's driving him that he had when he was coming up. It really does, because I was like always glued to hear what Keith Thurman was talking about because it was entertaining, both outside of the ring and inside of the ring. He was entertaining, but he seems a lot more domesticated and a lot more mellow, especially when it comes to this Errol Spence fight. So to me, I don't know if it's a great look that you're pitching a ball for a baseball game on the shoulder and the elbow. Excuse me, I keep saying shoulder. I think I keep thinking of Pacquiao, right? You're using the same arm basically that is in question to do stuff like this. Street fighting in Nepal, and that was like a couple months after the surgery. So it just seems like if you want to take it easy on your elbow, then probably take it easy. I mean, I know this is a picture. It's not like he played a full major league game. It's just something to think about, because Keith Thurman, again, has been on record saying the Errol Spence Jr. fight will not happen. First, because he's coming back to a tune-up style. He says, I'm probably not even fighting someone in the top 5, top 10. But even beyond that, he's saying, I want to take care of my mandatories. And Errol Spence can do some title defenses and get his feet wet as a newer champion. And the fight's not happening in 2018. So it just seems like Keith Thurman's whole argument for not fighting Errol Spence is reliant on his elbow, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It sounds like Errol Spence is just you want more time or something, because if you think about it, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, it's not like he blew them out. Pause. You know what I mean? Like, those fights weren't close. So those could be difficult fights. So even if you take a tune-up and then you fight like a Sean Porter, he's going to push you. Even if you stop him, even if you beat him or whatever, he's going to push you to the brink, or at least try to in the process. You know what I mean? So I feel like there has to be something with Errol Spence's style particularly that makes him want to build that fight up more. Maybe he feels he'll get more money, but there has to be something. Money, stylistic issues, or maybe he thinks Errol Spence is the truth. I don't know. But it has to be something, because like I said, he's mentioned having a tune-up and fighting Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, guys who are both his mandatory. However, they made that happen with the WBC. But when it comes to Errol Spence, it's just like a whole different energy. So like I said, from street fighting in Nepal to pitching a baseball on that same arm, using that same elbow, seems a little inconsistent, since he wants to gradually introduce his elbow back into the equation. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're about to fight in May, you don't want to risk any injuries in camp. You know how many guys have been injured? We had Sergey Lipinets, who just fought Mikey Garcia. His fight got postponed from February to March. We have Hugo Centeno Jr., who hurt a rib. We have Omar Figueroa, who's been replaced by someone who was linked to Keith Thurman at a time earlier this year. He's being replaced by Jesse Vargas because Omar Figueroa got a rib injury. So a lot of injuries. It just seems like you want to be a little bit more careful, since that's your main argument to not fight Errol Spence Jr. this year. And there's a lot of people that have been getting injured. So pitching the first ball, like, you know what I mean? I understand it's your hometown and you want to do that, but again, this is the same arm that has given you problems in the past that you just had a surgery for. Let me know what you guys think. Who should Keith Thurman? And that's the other thing. I'm wondering why there's time, but I'm still wondering why they haven't announced Keith Thurman's opponent. I have no idea who he's going to fight. It's not going to be Jesse Vargas. You know what I mean? So I have no idea who he's planning on fight. But let me know who you think he should fight, and what do you think about Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego Sound. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.